So today I am doing the manual transmission fluid swap and the differential fluid swap. There was a little write-up online about it. In the write-up that they made, you have to take off some underbody shields. Mine doesn't have those, so it might have been like an NB. But you need a 24 millimeter socket, and then I could not find that anywhere. So I had to buy a 15/16 inch socket, which also I just tested it out and it does work. So on the rear end it is really easy. This is the fill bolt, this is the drain bolt. Always undo the fill bolt first, because if you cannot get that one undone, you do not want to have a dry differential. And obviously you cannot drive it that way, so you would be stuck. And then if you loosen up the fill bolt while this is draining, it'll come out faster. Just a little trick. This is the very first time I've ever changed a differential fluid, because I've never owned a rear-wheel drive car before, so this is pretty cool for me. Learning as I go. But this is probably one of the easier fluids to change, I would imagine. I just have to get the amount that needs to go back in, and we'll be good to go. That actually looks pretty clean, to be honest. So I think I was probably in good shape, but I bought the car used recently, and I would rather know what's in there than have no idea. And so these two are the ones I just took off. This one here is the drain bolt, and this one is the fill. This one has a magnet built in, which catches particles that come off. That'll need to be cleaned off, and then I'll just put those back on. And there's what it looks like when it's been cleaned off with a magnet. Okay, so on the manual transmission on my year, in 1995, this is the fill bolt. It's on the driver's side of the transmission. Then the drain bolt looks like this, and it is on the very bottom, a little further back on the car, facing downwards. And this is 14 millimeters. This is 24 millimeters, or 15/16 inches, which I had to do. So it is now draining, and it is just over 2 quarts to fill it, so I think 2.1. As you can see, all of this gunk that's on the top of that, I'm going to clean that off and then replace. Alright, so that concludes my fluid swap. You know, I always try to start these out as like a tutorial on how to do it, but crawling under the car, it is so difficult to film. I used Royal Purple because when I first did research, it seemed like that had the best reviews, and then after I bought it, I started seeing everyone said to get Redline, so I tried to sell my Royal Purple to no avail. I couldn't take it back because it was too long ago, so I just stuck with it and put it in there. I used 75 W90 gear oil for the front and back, and I just took it for a test drive, and there are very few things you do that make like a noticeable difference. That thing shifts like butter now. The first to second change in the gears, occasionally I would feel almost like the gears like rubbing. Sometimes if I shifted faster it wouldn't do it, but I did not feel a single rub when I just went around, and I felt like the car was a little bit quicker getting into the gears, and it just feels so smooth now. So we'll see how it holds up overall, and you know, like I said, I stuck with Royal Purple because I just couldn't get rid of it, and had a couple technical issues. The little pump that I bought, it doesn't fit in the Royal Purple bottles, so I had to dump the Royal Purple into like a cup and use that. And then So I dumped the royal purple into this, and then I pumped it out, and then this part of it broke off the side. A good thing about filling these fluids, like the differential and the manual transmission, is like it's not like the engine. If you fill it too much, it's gonna cause huge damage or something like that. It basically just comes out if you fill too much. It'll just start to come out of the fill plug. And then I did notice when I took the fill plug out, when I first was doing this in the manual transmission, it just started coming out of the fill plug, so they had it a little bit overfilled maybe. So I just did the same, thinking that that was pretty much what you're supposed to do. But yeah, like I said, it drives amazing now. So all of my maintenance stuff is done. I got the new tires, I got those frame rails, which that's not maintenance. You know, oil change, that's just general maintenance. I did the slave and master cylinder because that was busted. Got that completed. Now I think the only thing left that I need to do is the valve cover gasket. I feel like I'm leaking oil from that, and if it's not that, I'm not really sure where it's at, and I'll just, you know, live with it. So alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.